Hello, Dolphins fans. I am Marcus, back with another episode of The Dolphin Zone. Now, as you all know, we made the playoffs this year, and we unfortunately lost to our arch rivals, the Buffalo Bills, 34-31. Now, I know it's hard, but I am going to tell you this. I am proud of our effort. We went into Buffalo as 14-point underdogs with a third-string quarterback, and we nearly beat them. Yeah, it stings a little. It stings more than I think it would be if we'd gotten blown out because we were so close. But you want to know something? That performance on Sunday gave me hope because with Tua back and if he's healthy, and we can get some more weapons and fix that offensive line so that way Tua doesn't continue getting turned into a pancake, our offense will be unstoppable, and our defense, if we can get a new coordinator and get some depth on defense, we're going to kick butt too. So, that is going to be a huge, huge deal. Now, I'm also going to say this too. The Dolphins as a whole, the last few years have had their ups and downs, and it's nice to see them actually succeeding. And I'm so stoked that I'm wearing my Ricky Williams jersey, guys. Check this out. Ricky Williams all day long. But anyways, we are close. I can just feel it. Now, before we continue, I would like you guys to try to subscribe to my channel and like and give me a thumbs up. Okay? Now, I'm going to address the so-called elephant in the room. We still don't know what Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer are going to try to do this offseason. But because we don't know if Tua has actually been cleared yet by doctors, we need to bring up the discussion of what is our contingency plan for the quarterback position if Tua, for some reason, is not able to play next year due to his injuries. I'm not saying that he's not because you heard Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel. They did say they expect him back as their starter. However, just because that they think that could happen doesn't mean that actually is going to happen, because you don't know how bad Tua's injury is. You also don't know if they're just blowing smoke out of their ass. I'm not saying that they are, but it's a business, okay? So you got to look at it from their perspective. If they don't say certain things, it's going to come back and bite them in the ass, okay? And I try not to cuss on here a whole lot, so like I said, I'm sorry, because, I have these so that way they're appropriate for everybody to see, and even for kids, because, sports is really popular amongst the youth, so that's part of the reason why I do these videos like this. But anyways, before we continue, I kind of want to celebrate the fact that we made the playoffs before we continue with everything else, and I'll finish with the recap of the season, and then just kind of focus more on some other stuff. But one thing I'm going to do today is I have something I want to show you guys. Let me grab it here for a second. Okay, I'm back. Now, when I show you this, you guys are not going to believe this. I got this from a friend a while back, and he found it in his trash, and I can't believe somebody threw it in the trash, and he gave it to me because he knew how much I liked it. Look at that. Vintage Dolphins with the original logo. Original logo. Vintage Dolphins. Talk about awesome. And I got another thing to show you guys. Dolphins helmet. This was a present from one of my teachers in high school as a graduation present. And I've got all sorts of different Dolphin stuff, which I will show you here in a bit, but I want to touch on some other stuff first. The first thing is we need to fix the offensive line. One of the guys that I would like to see Miami go after, and I think this would be a realistic signing for an offensive lineman, And this person is kind of under the radar, and I think Miami should take a chance on him. And they could easily get this person in the 5th or 6th round, and this person would be a huge steal if they got him. But Trevor Downing, who plays offensive line at Iowa State, I just saw he got an invite to the one of the Senior Bowl games. I don't know which one, but he played at Iowa State, and I live here in Iowa, so I watch a lot of the football games between Iowa State and then of course the Iowa games, and all that stuff. But I can tell you, Brock Purdy played really, really well at Iowa State. Iowa State has a lot of talent. Matt Campbell knows how to build a program. And Iowa State, they kind of fall under the radar and stuff, and they did not have a great season last season. But you got to look at it. Matt Campbell, since he's been the head coach at Iowa State, he has only had 2 losing seasons. His first year and in this last year. 2 losing seasons. And he's been there for 7 years. He's won 2 bowl games, lost 3 bowl games, but we beat a really good Oregon team, and we beat a really good Memphis team. We had a close loss to Clemson, and yes, Clemson's a powerhouse, and the fact that we didn't almost beat them shows you how good of a team Iowa State is. So if we can go toe-to-toe, if we have guys on Iowa State's team that can go toe-to-toe with a powerhouse like Clemson, that shows you what great talent Ames has at Iowa State. So with that being said, I think Trevor Downing would be a very good under-the-radar guy for us to target in the draft or as an undrafted free agent. I mean, look at Cater Kohu, Division III school, balled out of his mind. And I'm going to tell you right now, if he puts up more numbers like that next year, he's going to hands down be a Pro Bowler. And I'm going to tell you, Cater Kohu kind of reminds me so much of Sam Madison with his play style. And Jalen Phillips, he kind of reminds me of Zachary Thomas, who, by the way, is a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year. And I hope to God he gets in because the last few years he's been snubbed and nobody, and I mean nobody, gives him the respect that he deserves. And I'm going to tell you, I love Zach Thomas. He's a great player, physical, badass, and he's a tough SOB, okay? He put the Dolphins defense of the 90s on the map. And here's something that you might find interesting is Miami has always had the pieces and always has had the talent to win. But this year it felt like in the first time in a long time that we actually found a head coach who views his players as players and relates with them. Now, I'm not saying Mike McDaniel's first season was perfect, but he was a rookie head coach. You're going to learn and get better as you go. And I hope they do fire Josh Boyer because the defense was crap this year. And if they do, there's only one person who I think would be perfect for Miami, and I'm going to explain why I think they should target this guy. I think they should target Lovie Smith, the old Texans head coach, only for the simple fact Lovie Smith is a culture builder, and as having somebody who's been a head coach in the past, that could benefit Mike McDaniel, and it could also benefit the defense. And I'm going to say this. Lovie Smith has a really good track record as a defensive play caller. I mean, look at his Chicago Bears team. They almost won the Super Bowl. Everywhere he's gone, his defenses have had pretty decent rankings, even if the team wasn't necessarily that great. He's a leader. He's proven. And I'm going to tell you, with the talent that Miami has defensively, that defense could potentially be even better than any of the defenses that he ever had when he was the head coach of Chicago. So that is my logic why I think Miami should hire Lovie Smith as the defensive coordinator if they sack Boyer. No pun intended. But I think Skylar Thompson, that game against Buffalo, yeah, it wasn't perfect, but you got to understand, Miami couldn't run the ball worth crap. I think if we'd been able to run the football more, I think his numbers would have looked a little bit better. But you also got to understand, though, too, there was a lot of other things. It was cold. It was hard for the receivers to grip the ball. So I'm going to say probably about 10 of those throws that were incomplete were not on Skylar Thompson. And that one interception, it was more play calling than actually Skylar Thompson. But that's beside the point. And I think Skylar Thompson has potential. He'll never be a starting quarterback, but I think he'll be a good enough quarterback to be backup and to fill in if one of our quarterbacks goes down. But my main concern is that he doesn't trust himself and that he doesn't trust his receivers enough. But I'll tell you, if he can trust his receivers, then everything will be a lot better for him. So that's my final thoughts on this year. I'll try to keep you guys posted whenever I can with any new Dolphins information. Um, my schedule is always a little hectic, so it may be later than some, but I'll try to keep you guys posted up if you like seeing this. Also, I plan on this channel to doing some different history videos with different aspects of history and stuff, and show you guys some of my unique stuff from my collection of treasure trove items. You know, like you see behind me and stuff, and all that great stuff. So as a matter of fact, if you look right there, yeah, right there in that picture frame, that's an autographed picture of Eric Church. Got that at a garage sale. But enough chit chat. I'm gonna show you the rest of that Dolphins memorabilia, and then I'll hit you guys up with a wrap up. Okay? And like I said, Ricky Williams, greatest running back of all time. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, so let's check out this cool dolphin stuff that I've got. Okay, guys, you see these right here? That is a Dolphins figurine. I got that at Goodwill. It looks like it's homemade, but I thought it was really cool. That is a Dolphins cup. I also got that at a thrift store. Same with that Dolphins cup. And then this was a gift from my mom and whatnot, too, but I love anything with the old vintage Dolphins logo. I think it's really, really cool. So, there's that. And also, I've got a book, too. That's a Dolphins book. I'll show that to you here in a second. Let me find it. Here's that Dolphins book I was telling you guys about. It's called Greasy and Zonka, the Miami Dolphins 1-2 Punch. This is actually quite an old book, and it kind of talks about him in detail. I actually looked this book up. It's quite a valuable book. I don't remember how much it goes for, but it also follows part of their 72 Dolphins season. This book, I believe the copyright is like 1976 or 1980 something. It's a decently old book. It's got a little bit of damage on it, but it was like that when I bought it. I paid 50 cents for this at a bookstore, and I couldn't believe my luck when I found it, but look at that. Bob Greasy, one of the legends of the game, along with Larry Zonka. I'll tell you, you'll never find another tough SOB other than Larry Zonka as a running back. So, of course, he was a fullback. But him and Ricky Williams, the best running backs in NFL history, if you ask me, but that's just my opinion. I'll now take you back for a wrap up, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. So, the last thing that I'm going to say is this. I wouldn't worry too much about Tua's future necessarily right now until we know more information. Because let's just face it, we had a good season. I'd rather focus on the positive than the potential negative, but it's still a possibility that we'll still have to cross that at some point. So, but anyways, I'm hoping that Miami pulls off a huge coup this offseason and gets us a really good football player, offensive, defensively. Who knows? We might be able to pull it off. Anything's possible. I mean, nobody thought we'd get Tyreek Hill last year, but we got him, so who knows? I personally, this is just me. I think we could get this person, but I think they would want too much for him. But I think this person would be really, really good, and I think would really complete our offense. But I think Miami should maybe trade a couple second rounders this year, maybe fourth and a late round pick later to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and get Russell Gage. I think having Russell Gage, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. I mean, River Craycraft and Trent Sherfield are good too, but Russell Gage would be a pretty solid wide receiver 3. Or even if we were to sign Demir Bird in free agency, I mean, look what Demir Bird did with the Falcons. I mean, or even if we got Cordero Patterson, you could use him as a running back, wide receiver, or a kick returner. Heck, we could probably line him up as a quarterback or a tight end. I mean, he's a big dude. Just think about that. It's crazy. I I think Cordero Patterson would be more realistic of a signing, but but still, I think that'd be really cool to think about. But anyways, so if you like this video, please subscribe and leave a comment. And like this video. I work really hard on these. I'm sorry, if my setup and stuff isn't necessarily all that great, but I have limited resources right now, and eventually, once I get enough subscribers and enough viewers, I'd like to try to do this full time. But right now, with me having a job and stuff, I'm limited on my time and my resources. But every subscription helps and every view helps. And like I said, if you're new and you're not a subscriber, but you know people who like this sort of stuff, please, please, please share this video with them. Because if they like this content and they like the stuff that's on my channel, because I don't specifically do just dolphin stuff. I do various different things. Coins, history, all sorts of stuff. And like I said, sometime within the next week or so, I'm going to do I think a coin show and tell video, because I have I think one or two other ones on my channel feed, but I'm gonna try to do those as well, and I might do another Dolphins Zone video. You probably won't get any more of these videos from me for the rest of the year, unless there's like a huge news deal or whatever involving the Dolphins. But because since the season's over, I kind of want to shift more towards other stuff that's more relevant and prevalent to now. But this is my Super Bowl prediction, by the way. I think San Francisco will go to the Super Bowl, and I think that they will play the Buffalo Bills, and I think San Francisco will destroy the Bills. So, if there's any correlation, Dolphins fans, is that we'll want to root for San Francisco in the Super Bowl. So, I think Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy can pull it off. I mean, after all, like I said before, I'm from Iowa. We watched all the old Iowa and the Iowa State games, and he's a pretty good quarterback. I mean, I think people are nuts for not drafting him higher. I'm just saying. But anyways, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe, and peace out, everyone.